Let's see if people jump back in. I mean, it's already 11:40, so if people don't come back in, we'll probably just end it for the night and then
I just saw two, so let's see.
yeah.
Who's this? Michael.
Michael Afton, welcome back to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good night, buddy. That was odd. My stream went down. We were going strong for what? Almost an hour and 40 minutes now. It may not be on my side. Welcome back again. You're man. I can't seem to. I get the worst luck, man. The internet was like freaking out. Like it was off and then it was on. It was off and then it was on. It was off and then it was on. And I was like, "What in the world is going on?" But no, it's 11:41, so we'll probably go for at least another 19 minutes. At least hit till midnight.
Welcome Saturday into the world.
Yeah, we'll hit midnight and then we'll probably end it there because Brian here streams on Twitch and he plays Call of Duty. So if you'd like to watch somebody play video games and play Call of Duty, check out XX Brian Scopes, and that's Brian spelled with a Y. Cinderella, welcome back to the stream. Hello, how are you? I hope you're having a good Friday night. And again, I apologize, guys. I'm not sure what happened. My internet just had a fit, and it was on, and then it was off, and then it was on again, and then it was off, and then now we're back on, hopefully. Not sure what that was, mate. My terrible accents will just.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, you know.
Thought you nailed it.
Oh yeah, you nailed it, mate. Yeah, all right. Internet is a thing, ain't it? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what that was all about. It like my internet actually just went down. It wasn't because I have a bad connection or anything. My internet was like, nah, dog, we ain't gonna work. And then it came right back up, and then it went down, and then it came up, and then went down. It had a spaz fit. So I'm not really sure the last thing you'd put in the chat side with where it was. I'm sorry. When it went down, I lost it. I know one of the things you mentioned is about dual streaming to YouTube and Twitch. Have you ever thought about doing live reactions, but only on live sets and videos? I can't do that either. That's still going to be claimed for copyright. It's still, I mean, regardless of if the band's playing live or it's a digitally recorded song, it still can be hit for copyright. I mean, I can sing a song's lyrics, right? And I can hit for copyright. If I'm singing a song's lyrics in the way that they sing it on a video, they can copyright strike me because I'm singing their music.
Yeah.
So that unfortunately that just wouldn't work either. It's a cool thought though.
Hey, great idea. We like ideas. We love ideas.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it's a great idea. The Jack Black talk early got me watching Tenacious D. I haven't seen a movie in a very long time. A long ass effing time ago in a town called Kickapoo. How do you react to a video then? My YouTube brains. Yeah, no, it's a great question. Absolutely. So under, I'll read it to you, right? So just so you can understand, there's certain laws and legalities surrounding, YouTube videos. So for example, type of reactions that I do. The type of reactions I do are protected under what is called the fair use law. And I would just kind of read that out loud to you right now. So, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for, in quotations, fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in the favor of fair use. No copyright infringement intended. All rights belong to their respective owners. So I can do a reaction video and do the react, and that allows for the people who have it copyrighted, whether that be on YouTube, it's WMG, right? Warner Music Group or SMG, Sony Music Group, or whatever, the label or whoever owns that music, they can copyright that song. And so, for example, I'm technically a part of the YouTube partner program because I surpassed 1,000 subscribers. However, I don't turn on monetization for any of my videos, which means they can run ads and I can make money off of those videos. So what I can get away with is I'm doing a reaction and I'm either criticizing, reviewing, or pausing and talking about the video. I'm not just playing the video all the way through. And it's recorded, right? So it's not streamed live. So the copyright owner can identify that they can copyright. So for example, my Burger Kill video. So my Burger Kill video is over 70,000 views right now. The song that I reacted to, their song, an elegy. That song is copyrighted by the label. So any monetization that comes from that video or any money that video makes actually goes directly back to the record label because they copyrighted it. And that's okay, right? It's their music. They deserve that. But unfortunately, that's just how it works. Because it's on Netflix. What's on Netflix? Oh, Pick of Destiny. Okay. I didn't think that would happen by me going to get some Raisinets. Yeah, you broke it, Donut Man. Way to go. Side with werewolves, because if you do your react the same way, but as like a live pause, etc., comment in real time, but go deep dive into the live shows. Yeah, and I wish I could do that, but for some reason, when it comes to legality purposes, let me read this real quick. Seems like you could take live performance and comment how you would do the same performance / take questions from the audience. Falls under fair use and education, and it does. I'm not sure though the difference of a recorded video that I've created and uploaded compared to live streaming. So the reason being is because I just think that they don't have a way to monitor that because it's live. So their only assumption is that it picks up copyrighted music and it's automatically it's because it's bots. It's bots that pick this up and it's bots that are picking this up. It's not real people in real time. And I don't just live react to recordings either. I live react to a lot of live performances as well. However, the bots don't know the difference between a live performance and not live performance, but a stream or regular video. But if it's streaming, they're not going to know that I'm. So a bot's not going to know if I'm streaming, if I'm stopping it and talking or criticizing it, right? And the problem is with the stream, I can monetize the stream. So I can make ad revenue off people coming into the stream and reviewing the stream, right? So because of that, there's no way, because I could listen to more than one copyrighted song in a stream. So they have no way of regulating that monetization within multiple bands that I'm listening to within one stream. With a video, it's just one video, one stream, one source of copyright, one source of monetization that goes back to that band, label, whomever, who owns that intellectual property. But when I'm streaming, I could stream for 6 hours and listen to 50 different bands. How are they going to take the monetization of that stream and then now divvy it up between 50 different bands? And on top of that, a bot's not going to know the difference of you pausing it and talking about it. It's just going to think that you're just streaming it for people to listen to. That's the problem. My bad. You are live reacting to past recordings of live shows. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You know, I just got a notification from Facebook from a video I made like 3 years ago. It's just now.
Copyright it? No, yeah, no. People will go copyright crazy. It's weird. But just unfortunately, when it comes to live stream, it's very, very difficult to do it. I used to actually do live reactions on Twitch. So I'd invite people who watch my YouTube stuff to come to Twitch and hang out in the Just Chatting, and we'd do live reactions there because typically it wouldn't get taken down. Now, however, if you do that in Twitch, they're dickheads. They'll ban your account. Like I could get suspended. So it's like it's very difficult because it's such an innocent thing and such a fun thing. But because businesses and corporations and labels are so greedy or so power hungry, they shut down anything and everything they can to squeeze any dime of money they can, right? Out of anybody that they can.
But there's always evergreen content that you can make yourself, and that's the beauty of it.
What do you mean?
It's like you can make your own content.
Well, sure, that's
Normally
if you make your own
rappers,
content, but that's well, the question was surrounding what I do here. You know what I mean?
right?
I can because for example, the interview videos that I do, I can monetize those. Those will not be copyrighted because I'm not going to be playing any music. It's videos that I'm creating, I'm directing, etc. But I can't send enough emails to my politicians to upgrade copyright laws, including the artists they sign. Right. Absolutely. Oh yeah, labels. Labels will take a band like a wet towel and just do this until that towel's dry, and then they'll just throw it aside. That's the band for most labels. And soon as that band has got them what they need or they've peaked, they will kick them to the curb so quick. And that's unfortunate, right? And that's why I think it's also kind of funny too. I saw somebody post in a thread today about a band that just released an album. That band was A Day to Remember, and they just released a brand new album. And I think it was either today or yesterday. And people are like, "This sucks. This is awful. This doesn't sound like them." And the whole thread was people complaining because this band sucks. Well, they don't suck. A Day to Remember is a massive, just a globally known massive band. Who if it's funny because they're ones who actually fought back against their record label, Victory Records, and won millions of dollars against them because Victory was wrong. People are upset because they changed their style and they've been around for 10 plus years. And as a band who's been around 10 plus years, if you don't change up your style and you regurgitate the same crap, you're not going to be successful. A lot of people have commented and were making comments regarding like Bring Me the Horizon or bands like Asking Alexandria, where both of those bands started as a very relatively heavier bands. Like Bring Me the Horizon, I guess technically you could say started as deathcore. And then they moved and they gradually got into more like just kind of like almost just straight metal and heavy, like hard rock, heavy metal. And then Asking Alexandria was straight metalcore. And then they now are more like hard rock. And I enjoy both sides of them, right? I enjoy because I think they're still very good bands. But people are very upset because fans are very entitled and they think they're entitled to dictate a band based on their sound and their genre. And fans of bands don't know how to grow up or expand their mind when it comes to listening to music. When it comes to one of their bands that they listen to, they think they should be able to lock a band in their genre cage and not let them out. Like if they play metal, they are only allowed to play metal for the rest of their life. And what people I think fail to understand is making a career out of any form of metal music is nearly impossible. You can tour the world, you can do all that with label support and do all that. You're not making a lot of money. You're basically poor. You're in debt. A lot of them are in debt. A lot of them are poor. It's like you have to make a lot of sacrifices to be able to do that. So I think a lot of people are so ignorant to all of the sacrifices and the things that and the hard work that it takes to be at a level like some of these bands are. And I can read it and get frustrated because I'm like they're mad because they changed their sound. And now they're calling this band a sellout, but they're not. The band is evolving their sound to try to appeal to a wider audience so they can take that dream of playing music as a career and can make it a continuous reality. Right? So you have to as a band, you have to learn to be able to grow. You have to learn to evolve your sound. And you also have to understand then that you will lose some fans if you do that. If you have, I mean, but that's okay. You're going to lose fans, but you're also going to gain fans. You're also going to, and that's why I think it's funny when people use the word bands sold out or they went mainstream. Well, they went radio rock. Well, it's like everybody's got a radio in their car. Everybody listens to the radio. Why would you not want to do that? Like, Why would you not want to appeal to a wider audience? And as long as you as an artist still love the music and are having fun with what you're doing, why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to be able to make a continuous reality of the dream that you've been fighting for probably 20 years already, and you're just now being heard? So I always hate when I hear people say that band sold out or this band's going mainstream. It's like, you're an idiot. You know nothing about this. So I actually get kind of frustrated when I see people talk about that because they just don't know. But people would rather speak on their, you know, speak on topics they're ignorant about because they want to feel heard. And most of the times that's just not the case. Let me catch up on chat here. Side with werewolves, the next three. The whole K-pop not on Spotify drama highlights the seeming flies in the face common sense around the common sense with the internet. Blood for Blood lived and died in its 3 years because they couldn't not be blood for blood. And that happens, right? And that's okay. And if you're okay with that as a band, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. The only rich male bands uh, are 40-year-olds with ancient record label deals that have legacy audiences, right? And a lot of times it's the bands that are successful aren't just successful because of their music. They're great at business. They're great at marketing themselves, right? I mean, most bands who are successful, I mean, they're successful in their band for their in that, right? But they have businesses outside of that, right? So they're using their platform to expand as businessmen and entrepreneurs. Now they're, for example, August Burns Red. Jake Lurs, their vocalist, he created a company called Heart Support that helps with people with depression, suicidal thoughts, with addictions, and it's all centered around the Christian faith and stuff because everyone in August Burns, they're Christian, but they don't label themselves as a Christian band, but they're a Christian band. Um, uh, but it's not because their music made them rich. That the day of the rock star is over. That doesn't exist anymore. So there still is to the extent, but maybe the new rock star, right? Maybe existing bands that have been right in the scene 10, 15, 20 years, that's a thing. But in my personal opinion, you don't see the crazy rich partying crap anymore unless you're, you know, there's exceptions, right? So there's, for example, there's a guy named Chris Franzak from Attila. Attila's a bit, I guess you can call them deathcore. They're a metal band, and they're like party metal, right? One, they had a huge fan base, but he took that fan base and he really blew it up by business and marketing and doing other things. And now I think he's actually, I think the last thing I heard was he created like an OnlyFans for himself. So he's doing like adult content, but people eat it up. And, but he's one of those guys that just pushes and does anything and everything. I could never do that, but, it's just the music industry is, to me, it's inflated. It's oversaturated with bands who want to be successful. And that's not a bad thing. But the thing is that I hear bands in Ohio and I'm like, oh my God, that could be the next big band. And that's just in Ohio. And I hear them at local shows all the time. Every local show I go to, I'm like, this band is awesome. Why have I never heard of them? Now take that in times, if you look just at the United States, now take that and expand that and put in the perspective of 50 other states. And I'm talking the bands that I play shows with are just metal bands, right? Metal bands and some hard rock bands. Now take that and imagine how many rap artists there are, country artists, rock, hard rock, alternative, indie, hip hop, and that's just Ohio. Now take that and expand it to 50 states. Now expand it to different countries, to the world. As a record label, how do you pick from that? So in the defense of a record label, there's such amazing and great and talented musicians out there. Like this day and age, you gotta be really special to make it. You gotta be special.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's why it's so difficult, is because especially with like internet and like YouTube and platforms like Spotify, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, for example, like YouTube blew up Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, and I'm sure some others that I just can't think of right now. But it's a lot of platform for really talented people that maybe didn't originally get in with the right people and the right connections to begin with. A platform to be seen. Um, you know, so it's just like with the internet and the platforms and Twitch and like There's everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be famous without working hard.
Sad they want the easy. Yep.
And I think that's the problem is that the people who are really working hard a lot of times get lost in the mix of the people who aren't because it's so oversaturated. And that's why it's such a difficult thing to be in right now. You know, you saw success from guys like PewDiePie on YouTube, who's the biggest YouTuber in history, right? You saw success from him and other people like what's that guy KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, um, like even like Jared Dines is rare. Like his content is primarily focused on metal, and he's works his ass off on these videos. But compared to the heart, it's funny because like the work that he puts into his videos are sometimes 10 times more than the work that I see, these other guys who have twice as many, subscribers as him. And he's putting in 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the work. But it gets buried because of that, right? In Denver, we don't have many bands who don't see a band life beyond Denver because it's 300 to 500 miles between a city with 30,000 people. They treat it as a hobby, but they try to be better than the radio. Sure. I mean, in every market, right? Every market has their own music scene and what's strong in that market, right? And that's just kind of how it goes. For example, like where I'm from, the market's that's strong, and then the scene that I'm in is the metal scene, and the hard rock community is super strong in the Cleveland scene. Um, and even like Northeast Ohio's got a very strong metal scene. I know Columbus has a pretty decent metal scene as well. And so every city has a music scene. It just depends on what's that genre and what's the scene there. What's the big scene there? And a lot of times it's finding it, right? You just got to know the right people to talk to and at the right time and where what venues are the big venues or what venues aren't the big venues. Because if you're not in a part of a local scene, you're not going to know what the good venues are to go to, right? Ohio, New York, and Penn are fairly dense within 150 miles. Oh, absolutely. That's why you see a lot of successful metal bands come out of Ohio. I mean, look, you saw Attack Attack, you saw Beartooth, the Plot. Well, Putney was technically from Ohio. Chimera. I mean, if you want to put Mushroom Head in there, you can. But there's a ton of bands. I'm missing a lot. I know I am, but I'm just getting kind of tired. Ohio has given birth to tons of successful musicians and bands. For example, Warren, what's his name from Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilot, not Stone Temple Pilots. Why can't I think of it? Dave Grohl. I can't think of his other band right now, but Dave Grohl's from Warren, Ohio.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was from Warren, Ohio, as in he was a baby there for like a month, and then they moved. Yeah,
Like everybody else does.
yeah, from ashes to new, absolutely. And Foo Fighters. Thank you, Donut. Thank you. I don't know why that slipped my mind. Yeah, from ashes to new. I mean, in that from ashes to new is kind of like a Linkin Park, right? They're like this generation's Linkin Park, is how I look at them. But yeah, there's a lot of band, like for example, Lancaster itself. I mean, Lancaster. I've played with bands out of August Burns Red. 1 year later from Lancaster, Texas in July. There's a lot of awesome bands from PA too. I guess I'm just saying with all the bands, why California scene, the Connecticut scene, Ohio scene, etc., are dense enough to get good and build an audience. And in the internet days, it's a sheer numbers, not which cities. So that's the thing though. I mean, it just depends. Now, if you want exposure as a band, tour, right? You want to tour. You want to be in front of people who've never heard of you or seen you before, because then word of mouth travels. Then they look you up and then they share your music. And then more people look you up. Or you market the shit out of yourself online, whether that be blasting Instagram, blasting Facebook, getting promotion companies to release your video on their YouTube channel. For example, my band Astral Black, we've released 2 of our singles through the YouTube promotional channel called Slam Worldwide, which is like a deathcore promotion channel. instead of releasing it on our own channel, because Slam Worldwide's got like 250,000 subscribers compared to, what we don't have. So that's just a chance for more exposure and more people around the world to see and hear our music. No, you're right, man. No worries. But yeah, it just depends. A lot of times in some small towns don't have a scene, so you have to travel more, etc. Why would you go to Bismarck, North Dakota, though? It makes no sense in numbers or money we're seeing. There's a lot of empty in the USA. Sure, yeah. I mean, and you're absolutely right. I don't know what tours have been to North Dakota, but I'm sure that at some point, somewhere in North Dakota, there is a place. But to go to it, and like I said, and where I'm at in Ohio, and just because I'm in Ohio, I have to go to certain places for there to be a music scene, whether that be here, in Kent, Ohio, or Cleveland, or Columbus, or the suburbs of Cleveland, like Lakewood, and then there's a few spots here and there. Um, every place, I mean, most states have a scene. It's just finding where that's located. It's not going to be in your town all the time. It's going to be typically in the big city where there's going to be shows, or it just in some places it's going to be harder than others. It just depends where you're located. Yeah, absolutely. However, only Five Finger Death Punch can go to North Dakota, but that's an outlier. Same with Smash Mouth during COVID. Now, yeah, Five Finger Death Punch has a formula. It works for them, and it's successful, and that's why they're massive. There's a lot of hate for Five Finger Death Punch. I mean, and I understand why. I think they're a decent band. I think they're talented. Do I think they're the vocalist? What I think his name's Ivan is kind of an arrogant, entitled douchebag. But sure, but I think he's also gone through a lot of struggles and problems in his life that have kind of made him that way. So, I mean, it is what it is. They're a successful hard rock band, and they found a hard rock formula that works for them, and that's great. Smash Mouth, on the other hand, I've never heard any other song by them other than All Star, so I'm not sure what's going on with them. They make their money Iron Maiden style. Fair enough.
They're not the sharpest tools in the shed.
They are not the sharpest tools in the shed. You're not wrong. Because they were looking kind of dumb.
It's a good talk, man.
Yeah, no, you guys have been awesome to stream. But we are a little bit to about 10 till past midnight, and I'm exhausted, and I can catch myself forgetting things that I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream for this evening. Be on the lookout, guys, this coming week for the interview to be posted. I'm going to be doing the interview on Monday. Just depending on how everything goes, that interview might be up instead of the reaction video on Monday, or it'll be up on Tuesday instead of the reaction video. So either way, there will be a video up on Monday. So be on the lookout for that, guys. As always, if you've been here before, Donut Man, Socrates, Michael Afton, Amber, YouTube Real Estate, Brian here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the return streams. Those who have been new to my stream today, Cinnabella, Side with Werewolves, again, thank you so much for the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. It means a lot. Thanks for subscribing, clicking the bell. It's awesome. I definitely appreciate you coming and hanging out in the stream, guys. It's a lot of fun being able to do this with you. So and bearing with me for my crazy internet problems that just seem to be consecutive. But thank you guys so much, and I look forward to next Friday hanging out and talking with you guys, and look forward to seeing what your thoughts were on the interview. Hopefully, I don't bomb it. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you later. Have a great night.
Hey guys.